Hello and welcome to another episode of the Proton Pack Podcast. I'm Kris, and with me always is the Bumblebee to my Optimus Prime, Tony. Say hey, Tone.
One shall stand, one shall fall. Why throw away your...
Woo! Hi, guys. How are you? Sorry, the soundboard got really big and I couldn't shrink it, so it messed me up. So,
But Tony is here, and it wouldn't be a Proton Pack Podcast without a few technical issues. But I think we've got things dialed in. Things are looking good.
it looks
Stream's
good.
coming across well.
Sounds good. Well, hi, guys. Episode 46. We are here. We are live. It is Sunday night. We finally have a Sunday night show happening. Thanks to all that's tuning in. So that would be the boys. Your sons are live
are. Hi,
watching
guys.
us. Bella, Lacey, our fans. Okay. Feel free to chime in on the video below as you guys are watching. Ask us questions. We'll be
On
happy to
Facebook.
try to answer.
If you're on YouTube, we won't see any of those questions.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Specify that on the book of the face.
There you go. All right, Tone. Well, let's start out the way. Wow, it has been a while. Let's start out the way we normally do.
We've done a podcast
With our shameless
plug time?
plugs. That's it.
Shameless plug time.
It is in these hills that Juan Valdez and his trusty goat gather coffee beans every morning. What are you, fool?
And if you see Tony look away every once in a while, it's probably because he's just answering people on that Facebook page. All right, as far as shameless plugs go, the first one is what I talk about each and every week, which is my dog rescue nonprofit, Rough Riders. And we pull dogs from kill shelters out in the rural areas, bring them up here to the Reno area, find them homes, give them a second chance at life. And we've got a couple dogs that need homes.
I know.
See,
I'm telling you. I'm using his dinosaur iPad here to answer questions. This thing,
you just got to turn the volume down manually.
Well, it's down now.
All right.
But I'm having issues getting it to stay in one spot so I can answer the questions. So bear with me. And we'll get. I should just use my phone for that portion of it. My phone's so much faster. That thing's a junker clunker from 2013. So. And
while Tony's trying to figure that out, just talk a little bit more about Rough Riders. We've got two dogs that need homes. Bubba and Mickey need to be...
Oh!
Not that Mickey.
That's Mickey the dog. He needs a home.
Probably best to solo dogs in a home, but if you are in the northern Nevada, northern California areas, reach out, let us know if you're interested, and you can find out more information at roughriders.org or on our Facebook page, Rough Riders Saves. So that's Rough Riders. Tony, you do a little thing every Sunday, probably coming up here in a couple hours.
Yeah, in a couple hours I'll be doing the movie segments with Jimmy Jones on Pop Culture Kaboom Radio on 95.4, 7. See, Jesus. This is just a train wreck, man. I'm tired. I just got back from South Dakota, but you can check us out. Pop Culture Kaboom Radio show. Jimmy does, he talks everything from comic books, toys, TVs. I think he's got Dead Dollies on tonight. If you're into those guys, that's his guess. But you can live stream anywhere in the world. So there's knvc.org.
KNVC.
KNVC. So check them out. We'll be there doing that tonight, covering some really awful trailers tonight. So that'll be fun. Do that every Sunday. So check that out. Proton or Pop Culture Kaboom. I'll get with it. I promise. I'm off to a bad start.
You don't have any Princess Yum Yum with you, do you? No, just water.
I'm just really tired and Kirkland Signature Water. Costco plug. Costco plug.
There you go. One other shameless plug that I wanted to add to this is here in Reno, I've started doing a daily radio show called Reno Tahoe Tonight Rocks, all about local rock music, national rock music, album rock and B-sides from bands that you may know and love, and it is podcast. So you can go to Reno Tahoe Tonight Show on Facebook, or you can go anywhere you get podcasts, look it up, and it's fun for road trip music, which I discovered when going down to see the boys last weekend.
Oh, very good, very good. Yeah, it's Your show's awesome. I also have to chime in 95.1 FM, KNBC.org. Paranormal Nevada will be the guest tonight because Jimmy chimed in on that. So sorry, Jimmy. I did fumble that, but we've got it.
Giving bad information there, Tone. Yeah. All right, let's kick this thing off the same way we blah. See, now it's infectious.
I gave it to you. Like, we gotta have, gosh, we haven't done this in a while.
It has been a while. All right, every week we start off with the TV news. Hit it, Tone.
Zinga. The cream of the crop.
Hey, baby.
Let's go, Pop. Excellent.
Hail to the king, baby.
Yeah, I think those intros need to be next on our list to give a little punch to.
Yeah, they need a little updating, that's for sure.
That's all right. All right, our first TV news story for fans of the Goonies. Obviously, we all grew up with the Goonies. My boys recently watched it. Corey Feldman, Sean Astin, classic 80s movie.
Piece of crap. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I love the Goonies.
The funny thing is, I've gone back recently and watched it. It is a loud movie. Every scene is just loud. I guess that means I'm getting old. But
you do a rock show. There's no way.
As that relates to TV, a Goonies sequel has been in some form of development for a while, but Fox actually just ordered a pilot for a TV series about reenacting the Goonies. Essentially, it's about a teacher who moves to a small town and they find inspiration in this movie and use, I guess, the lessons of the movie to help inspire an ambitious shot-for-shot remake of one of the students' favorite movies of all times, The Goonies. So if you're a fan of The Goonies, it's not quite a sequel. It's not quite a series based directly on it, but it is something that relates to The Goonies.
I wonder if they'll be any good. They've been doing a lot of those on ABC with classic TV shows. They've been doing they get modern day actors to just kind of talk about, I think they did the Jeffersons and something from the late 70s or 80s.
Well, for those were live play versions of old sitcoms.
Oh, okay. So not doing a live play of this. Okay.
No, but it would be awesome if they got maybe some cameos from Sean Astin or Corey Feldman or Josh Brolin. Just bring back some of the characters that we love from it, even though it's nothing, directly related to a Goonies sequel.
My dad's girlfriend played the role of the mom from there.
Friselli.
Hey, what are you doing? Drive on that train.
Mama Friselli.
Mama Friselli, how's that?
Joey Pants was in it too. Joey Pantalone. Just saw him again in Bad Boys.
Oh yes, great movie.
Great movie. So just a little Goonie news there. Moving on, we've talked a lot about Kevin Smith and his take on Masters of the Universe, He-Man for Netflix. He's a big fan. We certainly knew from the beginning that he was going to treat it right, and it is a true sequel to the original cartoon series. Now, as we get more information coming out, it looks like he is adding a huge voice cast, including Mark Hamill, who you know is Luke Skywalker, the voice of Joker. You've got Lena Headey, who was in Game of Thrones.
Dirty.
Stephen Root, Diedrich Bader, who did the voice of Batman in a number of the animated series. You've got Henry Rollins, Alicia Silverstone, Justin Long, Jason Mewes, Tony Todd, Cree Summer, and there's a picture on this of Kevin Conroy, but I don't actually see his name listed anywhere in here.
I don't see it listed either. I see he's got his daughter Harley Quinn Smith will be in there. Yeah, it doesn't say. Oh no, it does. It says
there it is.
He is going to be the voice of Merman.
Okay.
Yeah.
So from Batman to Merman.
Yeah, and Alan Opperman will be the voice who voiced the original Skeletor. Will be returning as Mossman. So,
all right.
Which, ironically, we did an interview with Tim from the Saturday Morning Rewind, and he showed us the little action figure. So it's kind of funny. We just talked about that and did this. So.
Ties in well. Yeah, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Sarah Michelle Gellar is also a voice in this.
Who? Just kidding. That's a hell of a cast, man. That's a hell of a lineup. So
it is.
Hi, Erin. She's now on. So that's how I'm going to reply. If you guys talk on our Facebook page, I'm not going to try to reply on this ancient device. I'm just going to look down. I'll acknowledge you. I'll say hi, give you a shout out for tuning into the show.
And that might even
Burrito, thanks for watching, buddy.
That might even be the boys chiming in under Aaron's account. So
yeah, okay. Well, hi, boys.
So still no word yet on when the series is coming out, but now that we've got some voice talent behind it, we know it's well into production. It'll be a nice thing to see once it does come out, especially like you and I, Tone, being big fans of the original series back in the 80s.
Yeah, I think with Kevin Smith doing it, I've never, aside from his Clerks cartoon, which I did enjoy, I got a feeling, if he was a fan of it, he'll be true to the source material since he is a, like pop culture comic book guy. I mean, I think it's going to be entertaining, and especially it gives Netflix just more content that they need in the streaming service wars out there.
Yeah, and he's written a number of really well-received comic book series, a line of Batman comics, Daredevil, so I think he's going to treat it with the respect it deserves.
Yeah, should be good. I think right now, while they're getting ready, since it's going to be a sequel, I think it would be nice if Netflix actually streamed the old school Filmation Masters of the Universe, even though I'm pretty sure they're not going to hold up as well today.
They don't. But
it'd be nice to kind of have something to go back to, because it was very, it's just, yeah. So, I mean, but we loved it as a kid. I have good memories of it. So,
yeah. All right, sticking with Netflix and moving on to one of their other majorly popular series, talking Stranger Things Season 4. We know, spoiler alert, if you watched the end of Season 3, Hopper disappeared. Did he end up in the Upside Down? Was he killed by the blast? Nobody knows. Well, a trailer was just revealed of it looked like a work camp in the middle of like Siberia, Russia, and it's revealed that Hopper is alive and finds himself, oddly enough, in Russia. So,
Mother Russia. Hopper's alive.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Season 4. I think is 4 the last season or is 5?
Yeah,
they're gonna wrap it up soon.
Yeah, I don't know if it's 4 or 5. I want to say 4 is the last one, but I'd imagine they're gonna wrap it up soon, which is fine. It's a fantastic series, but you do got to have an ending to tell the complete story. So
yeah, and better than running too long. And then we've talked about it numerous times with The Walking Dead.
Which is back tonight. So see where we pick up tonight.
Yep. And the series takes place in the 80s. We've mentioned previously that it looks like each of the episode titles is going to be a play on some X-Men comic books, with the first one being titled The Hellfire Club. So fun little tie-in for geeks like us.
Yes.
All right. And then finally moving on to our last TV story. It is our trailer of the week. Netflix has just revealed a trailer for a brand new Transformers series. It's called Transformers War for Cybertron Siege. It's going to be a trilogy series, so each season's going to be a different theme. Computer animation. Tony just watched it right before we got started here. It looks really good. It basically has the emotional story attachment that the Michael Bay movies lacked. With some amazing animation. Now, my only concern about this is that they've gone with a completely separate voice cast. So you don't get Peter Cullen as Optimus Prime or Frank Welker as Megatron. They sound similar, but not spot on.
Yeah, that definitely, for someone like you that's a diehard Transformer fan, as well as others out there, it is kind of always harder when you have to watch the shows that you love with new voice. It's sometimes hard to wrap because you're used to one way. So, well,
especially considering they brought them back as the voices for the Michael Bay movies, and so you get back into that swing of hearing those again, and then they go a little bit different again. They tried to keep it similar, but not exact.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't get their voices because they were in the video games like War for Cybertron and the Fall of Cybertron, which were great games. And in fact, some of the animation in this trailer, like I was telling you when I was watching it, it looked very similar to the awesome video games that came out a few years back.
Yeah. And so for those of you who want to know what this series is going to be about, the synopsis is Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Siege begins in the final hours of the devastating civil war between the Autobots and Decepticons. The war that has torn apart their home planet of Cybertron is at a tipping point. Two leaders, Optimus Prime and Megatron, both want to save their world and unify their people, but only on their terms. In an attempt to end the conflict, Megatron is forced to consider using the Allspark, the source of all life and power on Cybertron, to reformat the Autobots, thus unifying Cybertron. Outnumbered, outgunned, and under siege, the battle-weary Autobots orchestrate a desperate series of counterstrikes on a mission that, if everything goes somehow right, will end with an unthinkable choice. Kill their planet in order to save it? Who knows?
Ooh, it's going to be good.
Looks good. So if you want to watch that trailer, it is on our Facebook page. Maybe do it after you watch the show just because, we like you guys watching.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of watching, Nathan and Bill, thanks for tuning in, you guys. Appreciate it. So there's your shadow. I look down. I say hi. That's what we do on the show.
All right, that does it for TV news. Let's get into the weekend box office report. Hit it, Tone.
Yeah.
All right, in this weekend, say that again.
This is my favorite part. I like the weekend box office. It's always
fun. It's fun to see what's doing well and to poop on the movies
the button ready.
All right, for the second week in a row, Sonic the Hedgehog held on to first place at the box office with another $26.3 million, bringing the domestic total over $100 million to $106.6. It is now officially the highest opening and highest grossing video game movie of all time.
Video games?
Okay.
Tony and I both had a chance to see it. We'll give our review here in just a minute, but it is number one. Number two, which opened brand new this week, is the PG-rated adventure Call of the Wild with Han Solo and his dog, Chewbacca. It opened with a $24.8 million based on the classic Jack London novel. Story of a dog named Buck and his Yukon experiences with Harrison Ford's grizzled prospector. Also brought in $15.4 million overseas as well.
Yeah, the only beef I have with that movie is they should have just done it with a real dog because that CGI dog sucks.
It doesn't look
awful.
Great. Yeah,
it looks terrible for today's standards. Now, I have read reviews. The reviews are pretty good out there on it. I've had some friends post on their social media pages saying it was good, so take it for what it's worth. I won't give it any farts this week other than the CGI dog looks terrible.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, it looks like as of right now, it's getting about 63%
And
on
Bill,
Rotten Tomatoes.
We'll tell you if Sonic was any good here shortly. You just got to do this really awful segment. It's not awful segment.
It's informative.
It's a very informative.
All right.
Oh, good for you.
In third place was the R-rated DC Comics adaptation Birds of Prey with another $7 million in its third weekend, bringing its domestic total to $72.5, worldwide at $173.7 million, and reportedly cost $84.5. So at least it made back its money.
Yeah, I was going to say it's weird that they have it listed as Birds of Prey because they had to reboot the movie title to just be called Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey. Because it couldn't just be Birds of Prey and the Wonderful Emancipation of One Harley Quinn.
Right.
Because they felt like, oh, well, the title's the reason why it didn't do good. No.
It could play a part in it,
Yeah.
Obviously, if they led with the name Harley Quinn, the character already existed. She was the best part of a terrible dumpster fire of a movie in Suicide Squad. But
I thought Will Smith was pretty good.
Well, he was okay. But we'll give our review of that here in a minute as well. Moving on, in fourth place was a movie I had no idea was even released. I just saw the poster when I was at the theater the other day. The Boy 2 opened with $5.9 million. which
Son of a bitch.
the first one had, was it Lauren Cohen? Was she?
I didn't even know there was a first one.
I watched the first one, but I can't remember.
The Boy? Was it called Hans the Boy?
Brahms.
Now it's Brahms. Oh, it was just called Brahms?
No,
I
the
was
first
thinking
one.
it was called The Boy 1, Hans, and then this one's Brahms, The Boy 2, and I can't wait for the third and filling part of the trilogy.
Franz. There you
Franz. Yeah.
go. I was wondering if you were going to go with that.
Yes.
So this one actually features Katie Holmes, and as I looked through,
buddy, sign me up.
it was Lauren Cohan in the first one. So something.
Was it the kid from Full House, just like this one? It's got the boy from Fuller House on there.
Does it? No.
Yeah, he's the kid that plays the boy.
Oh no, the boy's
It's
a doll.
freaky though.
Yeah.
It looks very scary.
Yeah. I may check it out when it comes to net. Yeah, when it comes to Netflix.
I think on the Pop Culture Kaboom, I gave this a so-so or a blah. I think I gave it a blah. I'd watch it at home because of Katie Holmes, and I'm a huge fan of Katie Holmes.
This might help your decision. The Rotten Tomatoes score right now is 11%.
Ooh, that, and for those out there that want to know, that is a... It's going to be a hard pass in theaters for me, my friend.
Yep. All right, 5th place, Bad Boys for Life, staying strong in the top 5. Brought in another 5.8 million, bringing its domestic total to 191.7 and worldwide to 391 after 6 weekends. You don't see many movies holding on, even in the top 10 after 6 weeks.
No, man, that movie was so good. Yeah, and I took Jesse to see it for a second time. I was going to see it with one of my friends, but she never made time or couldn't have time, so I'll have to just go see it again on my own.
Oh, yeah!
All right, 6th place, the World War I drama 1917 with 4.4 million. 7th place, the PG-13 thriller Fantasy Island.
Stop playing, boss, stop playing!
Which is not the 1970s version that you remember.
Stop playing, boss. Let's do a fantasy, boss.
I wonder if it's any good. I mean, Blumhouse produced it.
Well,
They've got a pretty good track record.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see.
Let's see. In 8th place was the Oscar-winning South Korean movie Parasite with 3.1 million. Everybody
Donald
keeps
Trump's
saying...
favorite movie?
Whose?
Donald Trump.
Oh.
The Trump source. No, he started a rally here in Colorado, and that was what he opened with. Anyone watch the Academy Awards? Awful. Some movie called Parasite won. Awful.
And if Tony's freezing
Robin,
up here...
Hi, Kendra, Eileen, Marie, Jeremy, and Karen. Hello.
Tony's freezing up a little bit here. I'm looking at his network connection, but so...
Mine says it's full.
Hopefully we don't lose him. But
I hope not. It says my end, but I am using dinosaur equipment.
That's true. All right, let's see. 9th place, Jumanji: The Next Level, another one that's been hanging in there for a while with another 3 million.
What is Jumanji?
And closing out the top 10 was the PG-13 romance, The Photograph, with 2.8 million.
Just because I didn't get to do this a lot?
There you go.
I don't know.
Next weekend, opening up, we have The Invisible Man, which actually looks like a pretty good horror movie.
Yeah, that one looks good. That's something we're going to cover on Pop Culture tonight, and I gave that one a good. I actually do want to see that movie.
Okay. And then a trailer that you sent to me last week, you have Harry Potter, Daniel Radcliffe, in a R-rated action comedy called Guns Akimbo.
Man, that looks awesome. I'll share that trailer on our Facebook page, man. He's been doing some crazy roles post Harry Potter, like he did Swiss Army Man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't watch that, but this Guns Akimbo looks freaking awesome. It's like it's just weird. Just
it's
to explain
yeah,
it. It's like
yeah.
it's like he's a video game character. I mean, he's not, but he's got 2 guns that are like attached to his hands,
bolted to his hands. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Weird.
looks like a crazy, just awful fun movie.
Yep. Probably won't do it well at the box office, but Should be fun to watch.
Probably not, but nonetheless, still something I would be interested in watching. So.
Yeah. So real quick, let's get into a couple reviews of movies we've seen recently, at least since the last time we recorded. Birds of Prey being the first one. It is a R-rated DC movie, kind of in the vein of what DC's trying to do, like a Deadpool type movie. You have Margot Robbie, who is back as Harley Quinn. You have Ewan McGregor, who is the Black Mask, the main villain of the movie, and a couple other...
Look to the dark side, man.
Yep.
Disappointed in you, Obi.
A couple other actors, recognizable actors. Mary Elizabeth Winstead is in it. And I went in, and anybody who listens to this show regularly knows that I had zero expectation for this movie. I expected it to be terrible. The Suicide Squad was an awful, as I mentioned, dumpster fire of a movie, with Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn being one of the better parts of it.
I think you're going to call her Hottie Robbie.
That too. But
Hottie Quinn, man. Hottie Quinn.
And then all of the trailers that started coming out for this. Again, I still was very underwhelmed. Went to see it. Zero expectations. Came out actually very pleasantly surprised. The acting, the storyline was fantastic. Ewan McGregor, his role as Black Mask, just flamboyant and over the top. And then the action was killer. The action was really, really good. So I, again, pleasantly surprised with the movie. Definitely worth going to the theater to see. Big action, big sound, big movie. See it in DFX with the Dolby Atmos. And, help it earn some more money. This is a rare hit by a DC Comics movie.
Yeah, I agree. I liked Black Mask for sure. He's very Ric Flairish.
Yeah.
That's just a plug to Ric Flair woo in. But I really liked the movie too. I went in with extreme low expectations. We had kind of made fun of the movie coming out on this show. Like, oh God, that movie's going to be awful. When it was announced, it was like, why would you do this movie? And then we saw the trailer and it was kind of like, Then I saw the second trailer and I was really like, oof, this is bad. But again, like you, I went in low expectations, didn't expect much out of it. And I got to say, it was a lot of fun. It was a good story. It was, like you said, good action. I like the fact that it was totally R-rated, so it's not for the kids. So if you want to ask, should I take my kids to this? No. But for a nice date night, just getting out there and having fun, it would be like a DC-type Deadpool. You don't break the fourth wall, and, it doesn't take itself seriously. And it's just it's a fun movie. Yep. So I'm with you. I agree. It's a worth watch in theaters. It was a good DC movie.
Get your impression ready. Luckily, we had no Hot Topic Jared Leto Joker in this movie.
Sorry, Lacey, that Joker sucked. Yes, I'm yelling at you.
Terrible.
I'm just yelling to you. But, yeah, that Joker was bad. It was not fun. But I like the fact that they reference the Joker in the movie, but you never see him. So just a weird kind of off-camera shot of a flashback. But
which I was good with. Yep.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yep.
Let's see. Did she reply? Nope. Did not reply.
Not yet, anyway.
Yeah. Hi, Harmony. Thanks for tuning in.
There is about a 15 to 20 second delay from us talking to what actually goes out on the video. So, we got to give people time to respond.
Oh, she does. That begs the difference.
Told you.
Yeah. No, that Joker is awful. If you tell me why you think he's good, I'll read your comment on the air. But I don't know. Did anyone else that's watching like that Joker? I was terrible.
No, I think Lacey's in the minority there.
Love you, Lace.
All right, the second movie that we're reviewing is another one that, again, I went in with low expectations, actually took the boys to see it on opening weekend. Go ahead and say the comment, Tone.
She said, I beg to differ. He was a fun Joker, and he's hot as the Joker. I don't know if he's hot. Like, I wasn't all excited. Kind of like mine a little more crazy, I guess.
I don't think Joker has ever been in the hot category.
No.
By any
that Joker. Ooh, that Joker. He's so hot. And I am getting a call. Sorry. My phone's muted, but because everything's Apple, there you go. Technical difficulties. Welcome back.
All right. As I started moving on, took my boys to go see this next movie. Opening weekend, again, went in with low expectations, especially considering the initial trailer, the constant moving back of the movie, the way the character looked. We're talking Sonic the Hedgehog. The initial trailer that came out, he looked weird. Ooh. He had human teeth. Eyes were small and strange. And the director came out and said, you know what? We're going to fix it. We're going to move the movie back to Valentine's Day weekend, and we'll make it right. They made it right. I think they nailed the design of it. Again, with going in with very little expectations, it was just a fun video game Sonic movie, held true to the characters. You didn't have a Dr. Robotnik that was vastly different from the video games. Jim Carrey's role was very much what you're used to in the 90s Jim Carrey, The Mask and Liar Liar and Ace Ventura. Very over the top. And, they tied in the canon elements of the game very well. His home world and, the Echindas, what Knuckles is part of. Spoiler alert, you're going to see a little bit of Tails there at the end, teasing the sequel. And
his voice sounded a lot like the video game Tails as well.
Yeah.
And I thought Ben Schwartz did a great job voicing Sonic. He sounded very close to the video game version.
Yeah. James Marsden did great. One of my concerns again was, when you take a character or a franchise, and you put them in the real world, like what Transformers did, trying to make the humans the main characters, it doesn't always work. But they found that fine line, and they had some fun little Easter eggs too. If you ever watched the Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon, he loved chili dogs, and in the bar fight scene, he tried a chili dog. A lot of good things there. Not a fantastic, great, perfect movie, but I think they treated it really well.
Yeah, it was better than Super Mario Brothers from the 90s. That thing was a pile of poop. I gotta say, I got a question. When do we get Crash Bandicoot, the movie? With the success of this, it's possible, but I don't know.
I don't know if he's a big enough character to warrant a movie quite yet.
Sonic one. I bet we get a new Super Mario Brothers movie before that.
Well, we are. We know one's coming.
Illumination!
Exactly. So, video game movies are definitely better than they used to be. I mean, even early Resident Evil they weren't great movies. They were kind of fun, cheesy action flicks. But
I like the real first one. You're all gonna die down here, and it had a bitchin' soundtrack. A lot of heavy metal. Speaking of heavy metal, House 9, former vocalist Nelson.
Neil?
No, it says Nelson.
It's Nielsen.
Nielsen. Sorry, Neil. I screwed you up there, buddy. And Lacey suggests a Legend of Zelda movie. That would be good.
That would be fun.
Hi, Sandra, by the way. You're also on. So with Sonic, for me, I'm just going to tell you a real short story about it before I give you my thumbs up or thumbs down. I'll actually just spoil it. I liked it. Thought it was a fun movie, good kid movie. Wasn't expecting nothing out of it. Like I said, I thought it was going to be doomed with the whole original look of Sonic, so I'm glad they pushed it back. And I went really just see Jim Carrey. That was the biggest part, was seeing Jim Carrey back to form, and I enjoyed the heck out of it. Now, for my theater experience, it was the weirdest movie theater experience I've ever had in my life. So I was feeling a little down on Valentine's Day. I did not have a Valentine, oh poor me. So I went to the local AMC, which, by the way, Fort Collins, get a real AMC, man. That thing's a joke. Sorry, we're not sponsored by them, so I don't care. But I went down, saw Sonic, and during the movie, you had, it's a kid movie, but you had kids that were, of course, talking and crying and on their phone, and that's fine. I can block that stuff out. But what I couldn't get past was, I'm sitting here, and there's an empty seat here, and then there's this heavier set Asian gentleman just a seat away. And as the movie's starting to roll, Mr. Juan Pablo there, we'll call him John Pablo because Juan was cool. He's sitting there and, the opening credits, has the Sega and it starts showing all the video games and it's like Sega, just like the old video games. And he's like, oh, it's the Sega movie. Golden Axe, that was a good game. I like Golden Axe. Shinobi was good. And he's kind of doing, I thought he was talking to his friend, so I didn't think nothing of it. But so that goes on. And then all of a sudden, he's like, oh, Sonic, you little hedgehog, the little trouble you're going to get yourself into. He's staring at me. Like, you get that creepy feeling when just like somebody's staring at you. Like you get the feeling somebody's watching you. So I'm watching it. And then I'm like, kind of feel like someone's looking at me. I look over. Sonic, he's the best. He's the best. I'm just like, what the F is wrong with this dude, man? I'm a weird guy, but that guy creeped me out. But then later on in the movie, at one point, he's like stretched out over on this seat next to me. He's just like leaning over. Oh, you silly little hedgehog. That's Sonic right there. So for me, and so then I replied to a text, and and I'm kind of creeped out by this dude, and I'm looking at my text, and the guy behind me gets in my ear and he's like, put away your phone. Okay, I take my phone out for 1 sec, which don't do at the theaters. It is rude, but I did it, and I'm okay getting called out, but I'm like, you ain't saying crap to this dude or the kids down there, but me? Okay, so it was a really weird experience, so thanks for sitting through my story. I did a horrible movie review where it took 5 takes to tell that story the other night because my phone kept crapping out. So there you go, Sonic the Hedgehog. Is it worth it? Yes, it is. Go take a look and go check it out.
Well, it sounds like you could have gotten yourself a Valentine that evening.
Yeah. Yeah. They listen to the fans for sure. Neil just put that in. They definitely listen to their fans. I'm glad they did. They did it real well because taking a fictional character, putting it in the human world doesn't always work well, more times than not. And no, Kendra, I don't get the feeling you guys are watching me. I kind of just, there's no one in the room. So I watch it back and then I'm like, okay. Then I'm a little embarrassed. In the moment, no, I'm not. So.
All right. Well, get that button ready, Tony, because now that we've gone through our box office report, we've done our reviews, let's get into some movie news.
We got to dust that button off.
Are you the Keymaster?
Back it up, fuzzball.
We came, we saw, we kicked his ass.
This baby hits 88 miles per hour. They're gonna see some serious shit.
Movie time.
Movie time. So was it last episode? I think it was. We had announced that Rick Moranis is not reprising his role in Ghostbusters, which is sad. It is one of our favorite movies of all time, and everybody's coming back for this. You've got Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson, Sigourney Weaver, Bill Murray, Harold Ramis to some degree. Unfortunately, he passed on, but Rick Moranis is still a no-go. At least that's the official word. Now,
I'm hoping it's going to be like a surprise. Like, he ain't in it. And then, oh, just kidding, he was in it.
Yeah, and he famously retired from acting years and years ago, which is part of the reason he wasn't going to reappear. Now, with this new news, it gets my hopes up a little bit. It has been confirmed by Disney that Rick Moranis is returning to the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids film series in a movie called Shrunk, and he's going to be reprising his role as Wayne Zielinski, the father of Josh Gad's character, who was the little kid in the original. And it's essentially a sequel and a reboot all in one, but the most exciting part about it, we get Rick Moranis back.
Yeah, I think that's huge because he's, aside from that cameo where he did as Darth Helmet on the Goldbergs, he hasn't done any acting due to his wife passing away. He retired, and when you look back, he has done so many iconic movies and so many iconic roles that it's always kind of a bummer when they disappear for a while, especially when they tend to bring the franchises back nowadays. you kind of want to see those iconic characters come back. So
yeah, I found out something very strange about Rick Moranis. Did you know that he is a Grammy award-winning country music singer?
I did not know that.
Yep. No. He goes by the Agoraphobic Cowboy and does like comedy country songs.
Really?
And they're entertaining. They're worth checking out. Yeah.
This is where I should have the more you know sound button. So I'm just going to give you one of these. It's a total exception, man.
So, yeah, with any luck, we'll get a surprise cameo from Rick Moranis in Ghostbusters, but we do know that he is returning for the movie Shrunk, which is set to arrive in theaters, and it won't be a direct Disney Plus movie.
Yeah, and I agree. Neil just chimed in too with it's awesome to him too that Ghostbusters is coming back because he read the synopsis of the script before the female Ghostbusters. So it's cool that the excitement is coming back for that. And even with Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, I think I haven't gone back and watched any of them, but I think Josh Gad will be a perfect fit as the older son for the movie if it all goes well. And should be good. I'm very excited to see him back at it. It's always great.
And I don't know what caused them to lose their minds, but you can probably hear the dogs in the background.
Yes. Hey, welcome to episode 46, the train wreck. That's not really a train wreck. There's just fun stuff.
Just getting back in the saddle again.
Yeah, this is good. And there's a lot of people interaction tonight, so thank you guys so much for watching and taking the time to comment. So, Jake, what's up? Thanks for tuning in, buddy. Continue on with your questions. I'll give you guys shout outs. We'll try to answer them in between. And
I think Sunday live shows are probably our sweet spot.
Yeah, this is definitely good. So it's nice to be back at it. So thanks for watching. I don't know what that whole thing was. Moving on, my friend. Moving on.
All right. So as Harrison Ford is making the rounds doing press for Call of the Wild, inevitably questions come up about Indiana Jones 5. Now, he's mentioned that they are in pre-production, that he is returning as Indiana Jones, that Steven Spielberg is involved, that he will be directing the movie. All good things. I mentioned in the last episode, I'm a little concerned about Harrison Ford's age and being able to pull off an action role like that. So I'm hoping there might be a little bit of a passing of the baton. But recently, he's given a little more information about what the storyline of the movie is going to be. Not the big MacGuffin, what they're going to be going after, but more of the intricacies. He said, well, I'm not going to share the story with you because that doesn't seem like a good idea, but we'll see new development in his life, his relationship, and we'll see part of his history resolved. So a little cryptic, not exactly sure what that means, but obviously in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, he reunited with Marion Ravenwood, so maybe they're still together. Maybe there's another son that is not Shia LaBeouf that emerges, Chris Pratt, hopefully. And
I want Short Round back.
Oh, I want Short
Hey,
Round
lady, you call him Dr. Jones. Hold on, lady, we go for wide.
And
by the way, I was told last time when we discussed Indy by our top fans, the Yendras there, they said no one else can play Indiana Jones. It's just, it'd be too hard to imagine. So I get that you can't have any more like actual replacing Indiana Jones. But I think, like you said, a passing of the baton and have a new character and maybe spin the series off.
Right.
Might be able to do something like that.
Yeah, like we said.
Because I agree. There's certain iconic characters. Like I never want to see anyone else play Marty McFly or Doc Brown. I don't ever want to see it.
Not Tom Holland or Robert Downey Jr.?
No, although that was a cool little video.
That deep fake, yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. So that's also on our Facebook page buried amongst articles. But check it out, man. Whoever did that, kudos to you. That was really good.
Yeah, but I've said time and time again, I think the perfect actor to take that passing the baton to become Montana Jones or Colorado Jones or New Mexico Jones would be Chris Pratt.
Yeah. It's funny. Neil he did mention that every time he plays the role of Indy, he has to relearn how to use the whip. So, and he specifies he has been killing off his characters. So you never know. Maybe this It's just the ending chapter, and Lacey has said, Indy, the character Indy should die with him. No one else can play that role. So I think that would be a good way, kind of pass it. But hopefully they do better than what Kylo did. Adam Driver did nothing with his character.
No.
What a waste!
All right, moving on to other big franchise, and Chris Pratt, ironically enough.
Pratt? Are we talking? Oh, I think so. I just hit my silence button. There we go.
God, I love that. I love that soundtrack.
I hum that damn song randomly. I don't know why it works. People just look at me. The younger kids don't. They don't. But
so we're talking.
They get it. They like it.
Yep. We're talking.
Costco hot dog. Jurassic Park, eh? It's a good movie. Sorry.
All right.
You just got an improv there. I didn't
know.
hit sound buttons. I acted it out for you. Try to be more me and less all over the place here. I'm not even drinking, kids.
No Princess Yum Yum today.
No, just Kirkland water.
If you haven't figured it out yet, we're talking Jurassic World 3, which we already know is going to be pretty epic. We've got Laura Dern, Sam Neill, Jeff Goldblum returning. Chris Pratt recently has come out and basically said that this is the Avengers Endgame of the Jurassic Park
of the
trilogy.
Star Wars.
So we know it's going to be big, big, big. News coming out is that we have a couple actors from the original Jurassic World movie, the first one with Chris Pratt, reprising their roles, specifically Jake Johnson and Omar Sy, who were both part of the original one. It sounds like they're just gathering everybody back together, and we don't know much about what the story is going to be about, aside from the fact that at the end of Jurassic World 2, all of those dinosaurs escaped into the real world. So
I'm hoping this is the final one, to be honest with you. I think it's a good way to finish it. You had the original trilogy. Now this will be kind of the culmination final trilogy. And hopefully they do really good with it, kind of in the veins, I know different stories, but the way they did Days of Future Past with X-Men, how they incorporated the new trilogies with the old trilogies.
Right.
I wish they would have just ended with that instead of making those two craptastic X-Men's after. They should have just stopped. The Apocalypse was fine, but
Dark Phoenix not so much. Yeah. No, I'd say after this one, let it lie for a decade. Let it do its thing. We know there's a Netflix cartoon series coming out. But then, maybe revisit it in about 10 years. Yeah,
that'd be good. Got some stuff. The webisodes for it have been building up to this new Jurassic Park movie. So thanks, Neil, for sharing that one, because that's good. We want as much buildup as you can for the next movie, because I know Chris Pratt had just said on Jimmy Kimmel, I think 2 weeks ago or a week ago, he's promoting Onward. Mm-hmm. And he had said he's getting into, that shape, that Owen shape there. So that way he can be ready to go with this movie. And Kendra says, speaking of hot, have you seen Jeff Goldblum? Damn. Shauna likes Jeff Goldblum.
She certainly does.
Yeah. So does Kendra. Yeah. Hi, Eli. Thanks for checking in, Mr. Montoya.
Jeff Goldblum's series on Disney Plus, well worth checking out.
Because he's hot.
Yeah.
Damn!
That's why I watch.
So hot. So hot.
Right.
Okay.
All right, moving on. We've been talking a lot about the next Batman movie coming out, titled The Batman. We know Matt Reeves is directing. Robert Pattinson is donning the cape and cowl. We have wonderful actors like Zoe Kravitz, who's playing Catwoman, Paul Dano as the Riddler, Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner Gordon, Andy Serkis as Alfred Pennyworth, Colin Farrell as Penguin, and John Turturro as Carmine Falcone.
I'm Batman.
The take on this version of Batman has had me excited since Matt Reeves started talking about it. It's more of a noir-driven, Detective Comics version of Batman, as opposed to, the all-out action Batfleck one that we got in the last couple iterations. All of that goes to say that Matt Reeves released a kind of a teaser first look at Robert Pattinson in the batsuit, which, I mean, if you've seen it, I've said, told Tony that it reminds me of the Arkham City video game series. Arkham City, Arkham Knight, has that sort of look to it. I think Robert Pattinson pulls it off well, and there's been a couple new set photos of him in the batsuit that just sort of reinforce that as well.
Yeah, we'll share that on our Facebook page. So if you haven't seen it, I mean, you could just Google it, but we'll make it easy. Just stick around on the Facebook page. I'll have those uploaded. I was kind of like the initial trailer or teaser trailer. I was like, okay, But, I do see what you see with the Arkham style look. And after seeing the set pics in him on the bat bike and stuff, I'm okay with it. I think he's looking pretty good. And I think he's going to do really well with it. Ben Affleck just recently did an interview and said the reason why he dropped out of the Batman was due to the production issues and kind of the headaches of the Justice League. So now that all that's kind of behind us, and hopefully DC can continue to surprise us like they did with Harley Quinn and now the Batman, this teaser trailer. I like that it wasn't a trailer. It was just a teaser of the Batsuit.
Yeah, it was just a little camera test to see what it looked like in this case, very red lighting. But, and if your only exposure to Robert Pattinson is in the Twilight movies, go and check out some of the other things he's done. He's a fantastic actor. I wouldn't hold Twilight over his head.
Yeah, no, he's going to have to step out of that. It's kind of like the Daniel Radcliffe thing. You got to break away from a character you've been known for. Neil said he does look like he looks all bug-eyed like the Tit. So that should be pretty funny. Is he going to sparkle in the sunlight? If he sparkles in the sunlight, Batman's dead. You can't come back from that. No shimmery crap from the Twilight movies. And speaking of the Twilight movies, last night I tried to watch Charlie's Angels with Kristen Stewart. What a dog crap of a movie that was, man. Patrick Stewart should be ashamed he did that movie. It was terrible. But
there you go.
That was garbage, man. Woo!
I'm surprised you even tried.
Well, that's what the girls picked, and that's what I watched.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
That's my face watching that movie.
All right, moving on to the next story. Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, obviously was a huge hit money-wise in the theaters this summer. Thoughts of diehard Star Wars fans are... Star Wars.
Dr. Star Wars.
Are mixed, but, I enjoyed it. There certainly are things that I would have changed. We could go into that whole diatribe as we did a couple episodes back. So go back and listen to those. We won't revisit that. All that to say, we have a release date for the home video version of the movie, with it hitting March 1st on 4K, Blu-ray, and DVD. No, I'm sorry, digital.
Press that early. Sorry, I was waiting for you to say the date. And then...
Yeah. Digital on March 17th, and then about 15 days later, March 31st for the home release version. So
yeah, I was going to say at first, if you said March 1st, I was like, wait, why would it come out before the digital? Like, that's weird because I know digital comes out early.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. You can get the special steel book if you're into collecting that at Best Buy. That's where they're exclusive to. So Best Buy will have their steel book edition, which just has Kylo Ren on it. Nothing super spectacular. The regular 4K cover. Awesome Star Wars poster. It looks great. And then looks like Target gets a Target special. Looks like an artist painted one.
Okay.
Looks pretty cool. I think for my money, though, I will stick with just the regular Ultimate Edition. Because now they're going to go back and Disney's going to release the massive box set with all of them in 4K and things like that. So
yeah. And this release is going to have over 2 hours of bonus material, has a feature-length documentary titled The Skywalker Legacy, which goes behind the scenes of Episode 9. Dives a little bit deeper, storyboard to screen featurettes about the land speeder chase, exploring the ship that connects Rey to the mystery of her missing parents. a closer look at the new droid D-O, and then a conversation with Warwick Davis about his return to Wicket the Ewok. So some good behind-the-scenes stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's good. Neil said, too, as a longtime Star Wars fan, I think J.J. Abrams saved it. He's seen every Star Wars since Empire Strikes Back in theaters. I like his take on the new trilogy. I wish he would have done the second one because I did feel a lot of
The Last Jedi
directors. Yeah, like Rian Johnson, and he undid a lot of JJ's work in The Force Awakens, and now he kind of went back and undid some of the stuff from, The Last Jedi. So while they weren't my favorite of the trilogies, I still enjoyed them. I did enjoy The Rise of Skywalker, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this coming out. I'm looking forward to watching the behind the stuff. I really like Dio. Kind of wish he would have shown up in a Star Wars TV show. I think he could have done a little more with them. And same's with Babu Freak, right?
Yeah.
He was a heck of a character. So, and Kerry Russell would have been cooler if she showed up. Maybe she'll show up in The Mandalorian or something later.
Yeah. Kerry Russell, her character was sort of wasted a little bit. Also, the other former stormtrooper that teams up with Finn at the end of the movie, I forget her character's name. She was sort of a waste of a character, not necessarily needed to tell the story.
Oh yeah, no, not at the end. I think they were just trying to fit in all their bells and whistles that you got to have in movies nowadays. You have to have all your requirements. So.
Yep.
But I am excited for like Neil had said here too. Knights of the Old Republic. If that's where we're going with the future Star Wars movies, I'm all for it.
I am too.
I trust that the Star Wars franchise is all good. I know we're on a Star Wars tangent all of a sudden, but like The Mandalorian, freaking awesome. Can't wait for that to come back. So,
well, let's move away from Star Wars and over.
If we must.
Over to Marvel for a story. So one of the more exciting announcements in this next phase of Marvel movies is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Touted as the first Marvel horror movie, and it's going to tie in a lot of the TV series that are happening as well, including WandaVision and Loki. But one actor that is not returning to the movie is Rachael McAdams, who played Christine Palmer. She will not be in this movie, even though she was sort of the love interest in the first Doctor Strange movie. The good news is that we've got Chiwetel Ejiofor and Benedict Wong returning. Of course, Ejiofor is Baron Mordo, who, if you follow the comic books, became a villain, and then Wong, who is just awesome as a wizard.
Yeah, he was great. The first Doctor Strange was very cool, very Inceptionist-like. That's twice I got to say Inception on this. And I just like that sound effect. But I'm very excited to see the next chapter in the Doctor Strange series. It's okay that Rachel McAdams is not in there. It's kind of like when Natalie Portman disappeared from Thor. I mean, she was obviously in the second one, but disappeared for Ragnarok.
And she's coming back for Love and Thunder, though.
Yeah. So you never know. Rachel McAdams could come back there. I mean, it's a Marvel paycheck. Why would you not go back for it? I mean, it's not like she's doing anything nowadays that I can think of movie-wise. So.
And
that's not a knock. I do like her as an actress.
And I actually saw a rumor in this story for the first time.
Mike says, well, no Rachel McAdams. There goes my interest. Marvel horror, man. It's supposed to be scary. Come on.
Well, and to talk to that, there is an article that Sam Raimi may be the new director for Doctor Strange 2.
There you go. We'll just get Kristen Dunst in there, and maybe Tobey Maguire as a bad guy.
Well, I'm not thinking Spider-Man. I'm thinking more Evil Dead and his horror chops there.
Yeah. So Raimi is a heck of a good choice if they get him. That's awesome. And yes, Benedict Cumberbatch will be back, and yes, that is all you need because he is Doctor Strange.
Yep.
So you're fine.
All right. So we're done with movie news. We're moving on to toy news, which we don't cover a whole lot in this show. But this weekend was Toy Fair 2020.
Yeah, we don't even have a toy intro because we don't talk toys. So we could do a generic one.
Curious to see what you come up with.
It's the Proton Pack. It's the Toy Fair show. It's a terrible intro. Let's talk some freaking toys. Yeah. That was bad.
All right. So all the news coming out of Toy Fair. There's some wonderful things coming out, but I think probably the biggest draw has been everything Baby Yoda. You've got an animatronic Baby Yoda. You've got a Build-A-Bear Baby Yoda. You've got a plush Baby Yoda, pop Baby Yoda, Lego Baby Yoda. You name it, Baby Yoda is on it. Board games.
Baby Yoda condoms. So small they ain't gonna fit you, Becca.
Mandalorian-themed Baby Yoda Operation and Trouble board games.
Yeah, that's they're starting to jump the shark a little much. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So if you were disappointed that there wasn't enough Baby Yoda stuff at the launch of The Mandalorian, there's more than enough coming out soon. Along the lines of Mandalorian, and I think you shared it on our Facebook page, Lego has a set for the Mandalorian ship, which looks fantastic.
Oh, it looks great.
It looks so cool.
I thought that, and I know Michael liked this because him and Bella, they do the Lego Brickheads, which I do have sitting on the shelf right over here somewhere. But they have the child and the Mandalorian on there, which is really cool. If they tilt up, you can kind of see it. There you go.
Yeah, there they are.
Yeah, they're kind of in the background there.
Yeah.
All right.
Other new products to come out at Toy Fair. There's new Minecraft figures. The boys will enjoy that. A whole bunch of new Funko Pops, including Avengers based on the video game, which we're going to talk about here soon. The biggest anime that's out right now, My Hero Academia, which I know just about nothing about. The Boys, the Amazon series, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, a couple Marvel studio fun ones you've got.
Yeah, let's see if I can
there you
get
go.
That close enough to there. So there's
Stan Lee's character from Thor Ragnarok, which was fantastic.
There you go. And we'll scroll up. You keep talking toys. And...
Yep, you got Valkyrie on the horse. Right now, Tony's on the Tiger Electronics old
Sorry,
LCD
I didn't know if we were moving
games.
to the next one.
Oh, no, you're fine. Those old Tiger Electronic games, I don't know if you had any of those, Tone, but those were fun.
Yeah, I had X-Men, Aladdin, and I think I had Sonic the Hedgehog 2, not 3. But those games were so just cheaply and, it's just the same thing. But they were so cool back in the day, but it was just the little, yeah.
Yeah. Mortal Kombat 11 Spawn action figure, so his version from that. And then Todd McFarlane actually just announced a line of basically re-releases of his first line of Spawn action figures from way back in 1995.
Very cool. I'm a huge fan. I know when we talked with Tim before the show, and we did that with Saturday Morning.
Which, if you're listening or watching this now, the video and podcast of that interview is going to be released tomorrow on Monday.
Yeah, so check that out. Real good, hour-long, awesome conversation with him. But I didn't mention, as an adult, one of the toys that, I really appreciate are the McFarlane figures. As you can kind of see in the Bronco thing down here, I've got the two Elway McFarlanes and two Peyton Manning McFarlanes toys. So they don't have to just be of comic books. And he does awesome sports figures as well. Good
detail. Fantastic detail in those. And then just one, final note of what was released at Toy Fair. Transformers, which again is my favorite toy series of all time. They're continuing on their War for Cybertron series with, I want to call it Earth Wars, something along those lines. A lot of space themes, a giant Scorponok figure. Well worth checking out if you're a fan of Transformers.
Gotcha. I can't wait, man. Sorry. Lacey wants me to correct. She's the one obsessed with the Lego Brickheads. They're just obsessed with the Legos. Also, hi, Heather, Miss Blacktop Devil.
So, moving on to the next story of another series that was released, obviously based on the name of this podcast, we're talking Ghostbusters. I didn't realize that Mattel had lost the rights to the Ghostbusters figures and that Hasbro has now picked them up. They're releasing a whole line of Ghostbusters-based figures, similar to like Black Series for Star Wars. Highly articulate, very detailed, and this first wave includes Peter, Ray, Egon, Winston, Dana, and Gozer, and they're doing what is very popular with the Hasbro comic book toys, where they're including a Build-A-Figure. So if you collect the entire thing, you get to put together one of the Terror Dogs. And so...
you look like your old dog, Harley.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what it looks like. I'll get it closer. But if you put them all together, you will get that beautiful looking picture.
Yep. But the detail is fantastic. The Proton Packs all have, really cool streams that you can stick in the ends of them and, set them up the way you want to. And I would assume we'll probably see an Ecto 1 here soon. Wave 2, you'll probably get Rick Moranis' character. You may get some of the Ghostbusters 2 characters, with the slime cannons and, of course, our favorite character, Vigo.
Yeah. Oh, my God. The detail on these action figures, which you can check them out. That's already posted on our Facebook page, so you can check that out. That's already up. But, man, the detail they have on that came out of the Toy Fair, amazing. So good stuff right there. I think it'll go good with the Ghostbuster Funko Pops. Right there.
You think we'll get a Janosz figure?
No, Janosz, for you. Where you be?
I set it up, you knock it down.
Yeah, I try.
All right, that does it for toy news. All right, we are finally to our last segment. Now we're talking video games, which we do have an intro for.
Oh, we do.
Hey man, you want to play video games?
All right, video games.
Yeah. So the first video game that we're talking about is one we teased a little bit with the Funko Pop action figures. We're talking Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, or in this case, the Earth's Mightiest Edition for PS4, is available for pre-order. The game itself comes out September 4th, but the pre-order comes with not only the game, but basically a statue of Captain America, a little bobblehead of Hulk, a Thor keychain, a little Black Widow, I have no idea what it is, belt buckle? I don't know.
Yeah.
Some Iron Man schematics, some fun little things that, if you're a collector of these special editions for video games, this one might be worth checking out.
Yeah, I'm excited for the game. It got pushed back a little bit. It was supposed to be out in May, but it looks like September is the new date for it. But they're going to do a beta first on PS4. It's going to be an original story. It's not going to have anything to do with the movies. So you're not going to see the likeness of like Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, or any of them. So don't be disappointed if they look a little different than what you're used to, because they are very modeled after real, like real world, but
right.
And more so than their comic counterparts, I should say.
And my hope is that the reason it was pushed back is to work on the character models. Obviously, when we first saw the teaser trailer for it, Square Enix is known for some amazingly beautiful character models. I mean, just look at the Final Fantasy games. These ones were underwhelming, and you expect in video games that, hair looks realistic. With what we saw early on, it looked like, polygon, single piece polygons looked really weird. So my hope is that they fix that. And that is what plays into the pushback a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like it's in good hands with, Crystal Dynamics. I don't remember so much other than Gex back from PS1.
That's right, yeah.
And that was for at the time, man. The graphics and everything were real detailed. Today they don't hold up and they're pretty crappy. But, sleek and stylish. They have all kinds of outfit packs. They're doing all kinds of pre-orders. And, I think, based on the trailers, it looks really awesome. I've pre-ordered it on Amazon when it's supposed to come out in May. But I'm learning like you guys. It is now September 4th is when it'll be.
Yeah, and the gameplay looks fantastic.
Oh, it really does. We'll share trailers and updates on our Facebook page to keep in check. But if you're a video game fan and you're looking for something cool, it has. And then there was a statement from Crystal Dynamics, and they said, to our fans, our ambition has always been to deliver the ultimate gaming experience for the Avengers. In order to achieve that goal, we have made the difficult decision to move the release date to September 4th. We know we want to honor these legendary characters, and we know what the superheroes mean to us. So we want to deliver the original story, campaign, co-op, and content for years to come. So with that being said, we need additional time to focus and deliver the high standards to our fans that they expect and deserve. So I'm okay with that. Don't rush a game. You're going to end up with something like Marvel versus Capcom Infinite, which we're both Marvel versus Capcom fans. And wow, Infinite was just not a good game. It was very bad. Disappointed by Capcom. And unfortunately, the series is all but dead at this point because of that. So.
Yeah, which actually is a nice little segue to our next story. In that,
are we talking some Capcom news?
We are,
and it ain't Marvel versus Capcom, sadly, but it is
Hadouken! Tiger uppercut!
Street Fighter V. the more money you throw at us edition. Don't worry, don't buy the first initial one, ladies and gentlemen. Buy the 10th installment of this one.
Yeah.
So Street Fighter V is out. I'll let you roll it and I'll chime in.
Yeah, so Capcom is looking to move away from Street Fighter V. You know, Street Fighter is one of those franchises where, you know, they bear down on a property and they stick with it till it's dead. I mean, how many different iterations of Street Fighter 2 were there, then Street Fighter Alpha, then Street Fighter 4, and then we got Street Fighter 5, which again, when it came out, it got a lot of criticism. You know, the character models were sort of weird and you know, chunky, which obviously played a lot into what you were talking about with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. There was a lack of gameplay. The story mode was short.
Yeah, and a huge thing that hindered it was just on the PS4. So while that's great for PlayStation owners, but you're taking away, you know, from, you know, at the time Switch didn't exist when it came out, but you take away from your Xbox One crowd. They did finally release it for Steam, so you can play it on your PC now. But other than that, man, there's not a whole lot. And I remember buying this on a Black Friday deal 2 years ago. I bought the bare bones $20 edition. I liked it. I didn't ever buy any of the DLC or anything, but then they released the arcade edition, and it had more characters and stuff. And I think they wanted to charge me another $20 for that. And I'm like, I'm not paying 20 more bucks. But now they have the champion edition. So this is the bells and whistles. So now you have 40 characters, 34 stages, over 200 costumes. They just did a new updated patch or a netcode fix, so that way you have better chances of finding fighters online. But there you go. If you're a fan of Street Fighter, this is the definitive and the last version they're releasing. The only thing they dropped the ball with this one is, again, they could have released it on the Switch. I think it would have drove a hell of a lot of units, and even releasing this version, the final version on the Xbox, I think putting it out there for more of the masses to play would have done Capcom a huge service, because Capcom, I'm a huge fan of the fighting games that they deliver. They have totally dropped the ball over the years. It's not what they're known for. There's other companies like Bandai Namco put out Dragon Ball Z Fighters, which basically stole the thunder. It took everything that was fun about Marvel versus Capcom and threw it in their universe. And you know, while I'm not a big Dragon Ball Z guy, that game was a lot of fun to play.
Well, and Mortal Kombat and Injustice, I mean, they are the echelon of fighting games right now.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And Evo is coming out, which is a big fighting tournament, and they typically announce new games there for Fighting World and stuff like that. So if you're into video game fighting, Street Fighter V Champion Edition will be played by the pros, and Marvel vs. Capcom 2 got brought
Which
back.
is exciting.
Which is awesome. Yeah. So there's good hope that, that this Capcom version of Street Fighter, well, this Capcom, they're all Capcom, that Street Fighter 5 is well received. And then hopefully there's some interest. I think they need to go back with what they did well. I think they strayed too far away, and the whole 3D model thing just never worked for Street Fighter. It was always a great 2D fighter. The people that did 3D World well was Tekken.
Yep.
Tekken was an awesome 3D fighter. Virtua Fighter was great. Dead or Alive, that was another good Namco one. Soul Calibur. So those are great 3D fighters, but for 2D, Street Fighter was definitely always a great 2D fighter. I know you just picked up the anniversary collection on the Switch during the Capcom sale.
Yep. Played it with the boys, and it's when I hadn't played a whole lot of Alpha or Street Fighter 4. And so it was nice to sort of discover some of these characters that I wasn't familiar with. And even in Street Fighter 2, you didn't have any of these power moves that you had to know the movements for. And so it's been fun sort of re-exploring the whole Street Fighter franchise.
Oh, absolutely. That was one of the biggest things we grew up. I was just out with my sister-in-law at a barcade down in Rapid City, South Dakota, 2 nights ago, man. And I introduced her to Marvel vs. Capcom 1. They had it there, and she never played it before. I said, it's really easy. Let me just teach you 2 buttons here. This tags this character in. This is your special move.
Yep.
Hit buttons and she kicked my ass, which was great because I told her what characters to pick. I go, pick War Machine and Gambit. I guarantee you build up your power meter, you're going to kick my ass. So, I did let her kind of at first, but then she got down the button mashing and understood it. So, I wish Capcom would go back to basics. Neil said it perfectly too. Go back to basics.
Which they have a chance to do with Street Fighter 6 now.
Yeah. Hi, Heidi. Hi, Jeremy. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys.
Yep.
Also, thanks for everybody that just jumped on this last week. I know I hit the request all button on my Facebook page, which I didn't mean to do, but I'm glad I did because now we have a ton of new listeners and there's so much interaction tonight. This is great.
It's fun. Yeah.
Thank you very much, guys. We truly appreciate you. Thanks. Jake Furlong being one of our new top fans. Thank you for sharing it on your page and giving us a shout out, man.
Yeah.
It means a lot to us. So.
And if you did just tune in halfway through, 3/4 of the way through, you can always go back, rewatch the video, or as you can see in the video, we release it as a podcast in audio format. So, you don't have to be watching anything. You can play it during a drive or a long day at work. And let us know what you think. Subscribe. Please subscribe. We have so much fun putting it together and doing it that, we try as hard as we can to make it a weekly thing. Ideally Sundays, right now. But
this has been a good bit. This I think this is the perfect opportunity. So we do like interaction. So this is nice doing this live one. Now you guys actually chime in. I know we're not perfect. We don't get paid to do this, but it is getting better every week. Kris upgraded his equipment, and I'm going to be needing to, obviously, because there are some technical difficulties on my end still. But whatever you guys want to say, please chime in. And Neil, thank you so much, man. You had a lot of good questions and
insight too.
Yeah, and it's always good. I love that part too. So yes, Lacey, I agree with you. It does help when it's not at 11 at night. Working retail, it's kind of hard for me to do these, but tonight worked out really well. So again, thank you guys. Please chime in. Let us know what we could be doing better. We always, give us some topics. Some of the news stories this week were sent in to me by Lacey and other fans. So feel free to do that. And we're going to cut this out. I think it's been a nice lengthy show. And
So before you play us out, make sure you keep an eye on those podcasts and on Facebook for our Tony's got the right idea. For our interview with Tim Nidell of Saturday Morning Rewind. That was a lot of fun, and we did it just before this, and we hope to bring you guys more fun interviews as well.
Yeah, and if you guys are looking for another fun podcast too, check his out, Saturday Morning Rewind. You can go to SaturdayMorningRewind.com. You can go to all the above to find him as well. He has interviewed so many incredible voice actors. His videos are a lot of fun to watch. So, and he's just been nothing but nice to us since we met him. So please give Tim a follow and support him as well. And that's about all I got to say this week.
Yep. Play us on out, Tom.
All right. Later, Gators. And this is out.
Maybe.
I am. Hasta la vista, baby.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Woo! Mommy, where's Fluffy?
Goodbye.